Welcome to Rise to Wealth. Here, I share quality knowledge through storytelling. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Now, enjoy the video. Emily always had a complicated relationship with traditional banks. Every month, she saw fees and interest eating away at her money, and no matter how hard she tried to plan her finances, she always felt 2 steps behind. It was frustrating to see a part of her income disappear in bank fees and interest, and as much as she tried to save and live carefully, it seemed there was never room to breathe financially. To her, banks became a kind of financial villain, offering little in the way of returns and always ready to charge for any service. With banks charging maintenance fees, loan interest, and even commissions on investments, Emily began to wonder, is there any way to grow financially without depending on banks? That question drove her to look for alternatives. She started consuming more personal finance content, especially articles and videos from people who are finding different ways to make their money work for them. Emily was searching for something new, a way to escape the constraints of the traditional financial system, which felt so limiting. And it was during this search that she discovered a concept that would completely change her outlook on money: decentralized finance, or DeFi. The concept of DeFi was totally new to Emily, but what she read about it fascinated her. Decentralized finance represented a parallel financial system where people could lend, invest, and make financial transactions directly with one another, without middlemen like banks. It was a system built on blockchain technology, the same foundation behind cryptocurrencies. Instead of relying on a financial institution to approve transactions, DeFi operated through smart contracts that automated the entire process in a secure and transparent way. For Emily, it was like the code itself was the bank, with no need for managers, physical branches, or unnecessary fees. The idea of being able to control her finances so directly and independently seemed revolutionary, and she was determined to learn more. That night, Emily dove deep into the world of decentralized finance. She spent hours reading about the top DeFi platforms like Uniswap and Aave. She discovered that these platforms allowed people not only to lend and borrow, but also to trade digital currencies and even invest in tokenized assets. Emily was especially intrigued by the concept of yield farming, a practice where she could lend her cryptocurrencies to DeFi platforms and, in return, receive financial returns. She was amazed to see that these returns were far higher than those offered by savings accounts or even by some traditional investment funds. If you're curious about DeFi or want to learn more about this strategy, keep watching because Emily's transformation might just inspire you. Despite her initial excitement, Emily knew that, like any other investment, DeFi also had its risks. There was always the chance of cryptocurrency devaluation, the potential instability of platforms, and even risks associated with the smart contracts themselves. But the idea of growing her money without relying on traditional banks was just too tempting to resist. Emily decided to start small to minimize risk, investing only a small amount, something she could afford to lose if things didn't go as planned. So, she made her first investment in a liquidity pool on the Uniswap platform, one of the largest DeFi networks worldwide. Uniswap allowed Emily to pair 2 cryptocurrencies in a pool where she would leave her assets for other users to trade. In return, she would receive a small percentage of each transaction made with those assets. For her, it was like earning a brokerage fee without having to be a broker herself. The advantage was that the fees were transparent, and her earnings were proportional to market movement. In the beginning, Emily was cautious, checking her balance and following the charts daily to ensure she was on the right track and to understand exactly how her returns were accumulating. In the first month, her results were modest, but they already exceeded any returns she would have had in a savings account. For Emily, that was enough to spark even more interest. What she loved most was the sense of freedom and control. There were no bank fees, no red tape or paperwork involved. It was just her and the smart contract, which took care of everything automatically. The platform handled the transactions and paid her the accumulated commissions. Every day, she felt more empowered and eager to expand her experience with DeFi. Encouraged by her initial results, Emily decided to explore other platforms and learn more about different ways to use DeFi. That's when she came across the Aave platform. This platform allowed her to lend her cryptocurrencies to others and earn a fixed return, or, if she needed, take out a loan using her own crypto as collateral. For Emily, this was a complete revelation. Unlike traditional banks, which require credit approval, in DeFi, everything was automated by the system. There were no questions, no evaluations, or bureaucracy. It was a straightforward process where the smart contracts acted as her guarantors. Are you enjoying this journey into the world of decentralized finance? Drop a comment and subscribe for more content that explores the new trends in digital finance. By the second month, Emily was investing with more confidence. She started diversifying her investments, creating a true mix of DeFi strategies. On one platform, she left part of her capital in a high volatility liquidity pool with higher returns, but also higher risks. On another, she chose to invest in stablecoins cryptocurrencies tied to traditional currencies like the US dollar. Stablecoins offered her extra security since they didn't fluctuate as much as other cryptocurrencies. This mix of strategies allowed Emily to balance her risk exposure, something she considered essential for protecting her growing wealth. As the months went by, Emily saw her wealth grow in surprising ways. Each month, her accumulated returns increased a bit more, and the feeling of building something solid without depending on traditional banking was incredibly satisfying. She no longer felt trapped by the limits of banks and didn't need to wait for approval from a bank manager to access her own money. Every investment decision brought with it a sense of freedom she had never experienced before. Of course, there were tense moments, like when the cryptocurrency market took drastic dips, but even then, Emily had the advantage of quickly diversifying and reallocating her assets with just a few clicks. That's when a new yield farming opportunity appeared, where the returns were particularly high. Emily was cautious, as she knew higher returns also meant higher risks. She researched the platform, analyzed the smart contract, read other users' reviews, and confidently decided to make a small investment. In just 3 months, her return from that specific investment was more than she could have earned in an entire year with traditional investments. This was the moment Emily realized the real potential of decentralized finance. By now, Emily was completely immersed in the world of decentralized finance. She had found a way to make her money grow without relying on traditional banking, and more than that, she was learning how to diversify her portfolio and adapt her strategies as the market changed. Emily felt much more confident in her decisions, and she had even started sharing her discoveries with close friends who looked at her with a mix of surprise and curiosity, wondering how she'd found such a promising alternative to banks. With the strong results from her yield farming investment, Emily felt motivated to explore even more possibilities in the DeFi universe. She knew that, despite her growing portfolio, she needed to be cautious and stay alert to the risks involved. After all, the cryptocurrency market could be volatile and unpredictable. So, she started dividing her investments across different platforms and strategies, aiming to reduce her risk exposure and ensure a safer foundation for her portfolio. At this point, Emily began to dive deeper into the concept of staking, a type of investment where cryptocurrencies are deposited in a wallet, and the owner, in return, receives rewards in additional crypto just for letting them sit there For Emily, staking sounded even more appealing than yield farming, since staking offered more stable returns. She read that by investing in specific coins and leaving them in staking, she could avoid the volatility of yield farming, making staking an ideal way to keep part of her capital secure while still generating a steady passive income. If the idea of generating passive income with cryptocurrency sounds interesting, drop a comment below. Let us know what investment strategies you'd like to learn more about. Emily decided to allocate a portion of her portfolio to staking, creating a balance between high-risk investments and lower volatility ones. With this strategy, she was able to keep part of her capital in investments that generated stable returns, while another portion was applied in higher yield, riskier investments. This diversification strategy started paying off, and each month, Emily watched her assets multiply consistently. Soon, she realized she was earning enough money to cover most of her major monthly expenses. That's when a new idea sparked in her mind. What if I turned this into a real source of income? For Emily, the thought was thrilling. She started calculating how much she'd need to achieve financial independence, which only inspired her to keep going. With that goal in mind, she reinvested much of her earnings, slowly but surely building a solid financial foundation. As part of her new routine, Emily now spent mornings reviewing her investment portfolios, checking the smart contracts on each platform, and scouting for new DeFi opportunities. In the afternoons, she would study the market, reading articles, watching videos, and joining forums to stay updated on the latest in decentralized finance. This routine became essential, not only for ensuring she was making the best decisions, but also for keeping her informed on the constant changes and innovations in the DeFi space. Over time, Emily realized she had accumulated valuable knowledge that could help others understand and explore DeFi. She felt increasingly motivated to share what she had learned, especially with people who, like her, felt restricted by traditional banking systems. So, she started a blog where she explained, in simple and accessible language, how decentralized finance worked, her strategies, and even the mistakes she'd made along the way. Emily wanted to demystify DeFi and show that anyone could start, even without much money or technical expertise. Finding Emily's journey inspiring? Hit that like button and share this video with friends who want to learn more about the DeFi world. As the blog gained popularity, Emily realized there was a growing demand for DeFi information. Many readers left comments asking for more tips and advice, motivating her to expand her online presence. So, she created a YouTube channel where she could share her experiences in a more personal, direct way. The channel was an instant success. People connected with the story of someone who started from scratch and, with determination and curiosity, managed to transform her financial life. In her weekly videos, Emily explained concepts like staking, yield farming, and how to avoid common traps when investing in cryptocurrencies. She also emphasized the risks involved and the importance of studying the market before making any investments. Her authenticity won over viewers, and she quickly gained thousands of subscribers. People trusted her because they could see her journey was genuine. She wasn't a professional investor, but an everyday person who, with discipline and a desire to learn, had found a different path. Is Emily's journey motivating you to explore DeFi? Don't forget to subscribe for more content that shows the real side of digital finance. Her channel's success was so overwhelming that Emily soon started monetizing her videos. She began receiving offers from companies for sponsorships and ads, creating an additional passive income stream. For someone who once struggled to save, this was a complete transformation. She now had financial stability she could never have imagined just a few months earlier. The idea of turning financial education into a profession was exciting, and she started viewing her channel and blog as an extension of her personal growth journey. Today, Emily considers herself a true enthusiast of decentralized finance. She understands that the market is risky and that cryptocurrencies can be highly volatile, but she also knows that knowledge and strategy are essential for anyone wanting to explore this new financial world. More than just the growth of her investments, what Emily valued most was the freedom of choice and the ability to manage her money independently without relying on banks and their restrictions. With every video she posted and every thank you comment from her followers, Emily felt even more motivated to keep going. She knew her financial transformation was proof that anyone could change their life, as long as they were willing to learn, take calculated risks, and adapt to market shifts. And so, she began ending each video with a phrase that, to her, symbolized everything she had learned. The future of finance is in the freedom to choose, no permission needed.